so much has happened over the past couple of years. You've got a war on Britain's back doorstep in Ukraine. We're trying to come out of the pandemic, and we have the cost of living crisis. These are the things that are flooding, the news wires every single day, every hour of the day. Is that something that's impacting you? Is that something that's impacting some of the young people you're working with, or does it kind of go over your head?
I mean, no, definitely so, especially growing up in this area. I mean, for a long time, you kind of felt as if something like this was to come in the near future. And as a little kid, I never thought of it, I thought nothing about it. But as a young person now, ultimately contributing towards my family as well, you kind of feel like everything has a cost, and it takes a toll on everyone. Especially, I mean, the cost of living has gone through the roof, and we can talk about if it's the water bill, if it's the electric bill, and through to smart meters and everything, is something that's, affecting us all. And we all have to think about the way we spend and what we do with our money a bit more wisely, and especially with young people as well, growing up and thinking that, some of them looking at their clothes that used to cost maybe £60, it might cost £75 now, and maybe some of their parents might not be able to afford it anymore. And just people providing food, putting food on the table, and having to work a lot longer as well. I think that's an issue that is quite worrying at this moment of time as well.
Aside from the headlines, obviously you are a young person. What are young people talking about? What are they worried about? Are they worried about knife crime? Are they worried about how many jobs they're going to have to do to buy those Air Forces, or, help contribute to the bills, as so many young people are obviously doing?
Well, now as money, as inflation's rising, interest rates rising, everything, money has become more of a problem, and more of also of a goal towards young people, as many young people are influenced by people, celebrities, rappers, and all those things. They seem as they have to do it, rather than they don't have to do it, but they're given a way which they need to do it. But how I view it is that young people currently are worrying about smaller things in comparison to older people, because they haven't really experienced it. But one essential thing they're worrying about is knife crime. Around the area, of course, it used to be much worse, but it's been helped, and it's been gentrified and everything. But they still need to worry, and it's such a poor thing, because children shouldn't have to worry every day whether they may be robbed or maybe get stabbed or something like that may happen to them. It shouldn't be a thing a kid has to worry about.
I most definitely think young people have it harder right now, and I think there's older generations that sort of take for granted how they had it in their time, and the expectancies of young people right now is crazy. The house prices are ridiculous, so for young people living at home still, or young people who adultification right now is a massive thing with our generation, where young people are being expected to work from the age of 15, or to be helping at home from the age of 40, maybe younger, and look after younger siblings, or even look after their own parents. Stuff that wouldn't happen in the older generation. The whole sort of structure and the whole sort of stereotype of how a similar family setup would be has completely gone out the window. I think for us as a youth service, we're here to provide young people with a hope, to provide them a platform where we're aware that they're going through hard times. We're here to soften the blow. We're here to help them recover from the position they're in, the circumstances they're going through. So we're not here to hide away from it. We're not here to say give any false hope. We're here to give the real hope that we understand what you're going through, and we're here for you.
From what I've seen, some of the issues that can be affecting youth here would be mental health, majorly, because I think the way the society is built is it's easier for someone to kind of be isolated, for you to feel alone. There's a lot of individualism here that just allows you to stay on your own. If you don't have a gang, if you don't have a clique of group of people that you roll with, it's easier for you to feel alone. And then that kind of having a community that you relate with, that you belong to, helps you to overcome mental health issues. But when you don't have that in this kind of community, young people are at the risk of, being isolated, being ostracized, or having mental health issues, and becoming suicidal. And also there are other societal issues like poverty, because in society now there is a lot of gentrification. People cannot afford certain things. People who grew up in a certain environment, in a certain community, they are being displaced, and they have to move out of such area to a different area. And this can affect the way young people think. This can affect them mentally, and I think it's a big issue. It's a big issue, yeah.
I think that the Winch was definitely a place where it started my journey through as growing into a young person, because through my brother I was introduced to this youth club here, and meeting people through this youth club, I met so many friends. I've made so many friends here. I mean, people that I may not see anymore, but it just provided a different aspect to life, and it definitely improved my quality of life through many activities that I've done here, as we just said before. But also, it kind of gave me a focus and allowed me to be in touch with people that kind of gave me a focus, gave me direction, but also helped me unlock the potential of where I wanted to be today. Yeah.
What are your hopes for the future?
My hopes for the future is that young people like myself see positive and impactful people in the communities as role models, rather than seeing people who may depict a false life, like all this rapping, all this money stuff, which is it's a lie. But I hope to see young people strive for greatness and be more motivated than ever. Especially since lockdown, I can tell it demotivated most of the young people, made them more connected with their social media. I want to see young kids prosper and strive for great.